Zeus is now a top pick in Dota. If you've been following me for a very long time, I said like a bajillion years ago that I'm looking forward to the time where Zeus would be a top pick. And he is. Yay! I've got nothing else to say other than the fact that that's fucking awesome, and Zeus is freaking awesome, and I really like that he's in and visiting people, and he's really powerful right now, which is really cool. When you couple him up with like Skywrath, then it's just obscene amounts of damage. It's just ridiculous amounts of damage, which is really cool. Clearly BKB goes up and then can't do much, but it works really well. And it's not a support Zeus, it's like a mid Zeus, alright? It's a mid Zeus that gets a lot of farm and gets that Yules and Force Staff and other items and Dagger. And it's really cool to see. And I'm just really happy. And I think that one of the main reasons is that people realized, first of all, he kind of fits the meta right now, but also people realized how incredibly insane the True Vision, the True Vision? It's True Vision? It's True Sight? Why did I... True Vision sounds weird in my mouth. True Vision? I don't know. Anyway, you get to see invisible shit around you when you use Lightning Bolt. And that allows you to also see wards, which means that you basically are a walking gem. And it lasts for 4.5 seconds, which is plenty of time to destroy any ward around, even if you miss it like 3 times. So, 2 times. So it's really good. You just can't have wards. It destroys all wards, and then the burst damage is immense and is really keen to what's happening right now. So that's really cool, and I'm really excited to see him. Another thing is that most games, the game has really gone into carry mode. I mean, we've seen in the previous patch, we had a lot of actually push, and, well, TI. Have you watched TI? Yeah, that was kind of... The finals were done in like an hour, because they pushed and games were done in 15 minutes, which is kind of obscene. And now most games go over 30 minutes. Most of them, if not all of them, go above 30 because you have the carry and he has to farm a lot. And it doesn't mean that it's passive games, not necessarily. Some are, but not necessarily passive games. It just means that the carries farm, and when they become insane, and Terrorblade is one of the most insane, which is just fucking unfair, then it's just, then the game is very tense and it ends because someone makes a mistake and one team destroys the other one with a big team fight. It's very interesting, Dota. I'm not sure, I mean, I think we're at a good spot because I like this. It's always the balance between 2 short games and 2 long games and stale games, and we do have, it's action-packed, but then there's the carry mode. So it's, and we get to this tense period at the end, which I think is pretty cool, and it's kind of those games where you're at the edge of your seat and you're like, oh my god, one of these teams is going to make a mistake, and then everybody's fucking fucked up, and that's really cool, and I like that. So, really interesting Dota to watch. Dream League just ended as well. I'm not going to spoil anything, I'm not going to say anything, it's just that it ended and it was cool. Speck of something. Yeah. And the last thing I have to say is that I played some Rogue Legacy. I'm playing through Rogue Legacy, and it's really bad. It's a really bad game. I mean, I got into a little bit of roguelikes, as you've heard. Rogue Legacy is fucking terrible. It's so bad for so many reasons, from the controls to some decisions about how the game looks in terms of art. And I never have anything to say about art, but this one, there's just shit that's like, why is that there? It's annoying. It's not good for what you're trying to show. And the system at which everything occurs is kind of, there's a lot of issues with it that I'm not going to go into depth here because I really don't want to, but there's a lot of issues with it. And also the fact that on the one end, they try to have some kind of story, but it's mostly just tedious and annoying. But there is a story, so then when things that don't make any fucking sense happen, like there's the architect who can lock down the castle and make it not random, because it's randomly generated, the levels, so you can make it not random. Like, his excuse for it is, yeah, it's magic and science, but mostly magic, yeah. And then it doesn't even make sense, and it's really odd and weird. And in terms of lore, and you know, I shouldn't give a shit about lore, but then you try to have it, so then it doesn't make sense. And also that death just stands there and takes all your money, because death takes your money before you go back into the castle, which is really odd. It's really problematic. And also, I fought the second boss in the forest as an example, and it's the forest, so I expect like a wolf, one of the wolves, because it's mostly like a big version of one of the monsters, a really, really, really big version of one of the monsters, because they have like small version, medium version, big version, huge version, and then there's a boss version. And there's only 5 bosses apparently, or maybe there's 6 at the last area, whatever. I don't know. But the boss for the forest was the most, out of all the batch of monsters that you have in the forest, it's the one that doesn't make sense as the most. They took that one and have it as the boss, which is really odd. I was like, really? I just came in and was like, seriously? That is the monster that you decided to blow up in order to have as the boss? I mean, the boss encounter itself is cool, and it makes sense. It's the boss where there's a ton of other things. So leech is best when you have vampire. Leech when you kill something, you gain HP back. That boss, that thought makes sense, but thematically it's really stupid. And that game really pisses me off for many reasons. It's like the worst rogue that I've seen so far, and like so many things are wrong with it. But the core of running around and killing stuff is fun. After I completely revamped the entire controls. I'm playing on the keyboard. I should probably try with the controller. I'm playing on the keyboard. I revamped everything because it was terrible. And now it's okay, but I'm actually switching between menus. I'm using the arrow keys for menus and my new controls on the numpad for normal controls. Rogue Legacy pisses me off, but alright. Yeah. And Dota is awesome. Dota is awesome. Alright. I'm off. I have an incredibly busy week. I really hope I manage to do everything that I want to do this week properly. Like the Concept Hunter and where I should and everything. And yeah. Oh, I'm never streaming again. I streamed Baldur's Gate. The last part was just tedious more than anything else, and yeah. And I don't see a reason in doing this. Alright, thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.